G'day guys, Rukshan here. Thanks for joining me for another episode of the news vlog. Well, first up, I have to talk about this story with the Houthi rebels in Yemen being attacked by US and UK warplanes. Of course, we've since found out that Australia provided support in terms of personnel that were in, I guess, the command center or in whatever capacity that they were helping this mission. So Australia also is a signatory to a letter with some other countries saying that this is the reason that we did this attack against these Houthi rebels. So since about October 7th, and all this stuff went down in Gaza and in Israel with what's going on there, these Yemeni Houthi rebels have taken it upon themselves to block these shipping lanes in the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, and really just causing havoc for international shipping. Now, a lot of people, depending on who you ask, will support the Houthi rebels and say that they are resistance fighters and they're the only ones who are doing anything to stop the genocide that they allege is happening in Gaza. So, and that's broadly across Middle East, and even in the West, there's many people on the left, many progressives, and of course many supporters of Hamas and Palestine that champion the Houthi cause and have no problem with them actually interrupting international shipping, because they say, who cares about international shipping? It's a small inconvenience if we can stop the Zionists. So that is the argument that's being put forward. But these attacks by the Houthi rebels on these ships, initially they said would be directed towards ships of Israeli interests, but it's not clear, right? So a lot of the ships that they've attacked, I think they've done 15 to 20 something attacks against different ships and try to commandeer different ships and so on, and multiple drone attacks and multiple all types of acts of piracy. I know people don't connect that word to what they're doing, but it is a type of piracy to try to commandeer ships and take them away and take the bounty that's on there. So they've been doing this multiple times now, and a lot of people around the world, a lot of leaders, a lot of international corporations, and a lot of countries are not happy about the situation. Now you're seeing these major shipping companies, they're actually turning their routes through the west coast of Africa instead of coming through that canal. So adding lots of time, lots of delay, and lots of costs. Again, the people that support the Houthis will say, well, it's a small inconvenience. Why don't you just focus on giving the Houthis what they want, which is a ceasefire and the end of Israel, right? Because that's actually a part of the Houthi mantra if you read their text and what they promote on their actual insignias and this kind of thing. It's actually about the destruction of Jews. Now the Houthis are Iranian backed, just like Hamas, just like Hezbollah. They all share these links, and they're all part of this alliance of resistance against Israel, the West, and other interests that they say are Zionist aligned. But yeah, look, America, the US, the UK, Australia, they've taken action, they've bombed a few targets, and they've sent another warning in this sense, an actual targeted missile strike warning to tell the Houthis, if you guys keep doing this with the ships in that area and you keep interrupting international shipping, there's going to be more consequences from us. Now the Houthis of course have said that they will retaliate, they will not sit idly by while and let the imperialist US get away with these type of things, and they will keep doing their best to help help Hamas. What do you guys think of this situation? I know there's a romanticized view of the Houthi rebels. Unfortunately, I don't share this romantic view of these rebels personally, because I think they're a nuisance, and what they're doing is actually not helpful. Perhaps what South Africa is doing with the ICJ is more practical and more helpful, whereas what the Houthis are doing is actually turning a lot of the people in that region against these type of actions that they're committing. Now, some countries around there, like Egypt and so on, might not actually say that they agree with the actions of the US, but there would be broad support, in my opinion, for opening up these international shipping lanes, which are used by multiple countries for all types of commerce and all types of reasons that benefit those nations around the world. It's a major shipping channel. So the ruckus that the Houthis are causing and the danger that they're putting these shipping crews in, civilian shipping crews mostly, is unacceptable for most of that region. So I think they welcome a bit of action being taken against the Houthis here. With Biden, I think he should have acted straight away after the first hijacking. You saw that video from the Houthis. They landed the helicopter on a freighter, and they were trying to take it over, or they did. That should have been the indication then for Biden to actually put his foot down, but they've let that go drag on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and the Houthis have become almost the Robin Hood of the Red Seas, and they're beloved by all types of people that believe they're resistance fighters when no one else will speak up for the people of Gaza. So that is the conundrum that even we face today in Australia. When I'm looking at the discussion around this, I just shared basic news about what actually happened here. And a lot of people got angry with me saying, Rukshan, you don't understand the situation. The Houthis, they're legends, blah, blah, blah. Look, guys, at the end of the day, for me, a lot of what I cover is based on my links to the West and Western interests. And based on that type of coverage, yes, if you are a ardent supporter of Houthis or Hamas or Palestine, you might not actually gel with some of the views put forward by leadership in the West and type of news that I cover, but that is what I'm covering, and that's just the nature of it. So unfortunately, I have to cover it from this perspective as well. But personally, again, I don't necessarily agree with the indiscriminate almost attempts to hijack ships and disrupt international shipping and just be a major inconvenience to everyone else around in that region, when there's maybe more productive ways that they could do this. Now, again, you might have all types of things to say to me about this, so go for it, share it there in the comments. Now, the next story that I have to talk about is a story that I saw today around the returning of masks in Australia. That's right, there's calls to bring back masks in Australia. I've got to bring up this article because I just want to read the first couple of lines from this. Bring back masks, medical expert urges action. As COVID-19 cases continue to soar across three states, mandatory masks could be back in certain settings as to prevent further outbreaks. Now, a couple of episodes ago, I spoke about how there's an increased amount of COVID. There's a new variant, and everyone's worried about it after the holidays because it's just spread. There's more people infected. There's more deaths that are happening. So there's some experts now saying that masks. Well, there's some people actually saying that people should just be wearing masks as a precautionary measure now. But there's actually experts now calling for the return of masks in hospitals and other settings where I think nursery homes. And what did they say? Dr. McIntyre described those settings as the biggest priority when it comes to flattening the curve and encourage governments to take a layered approach. Where have we heard all this stuff before? Again, I don't think they might introduce it in the hospitals. They might have success with this stuff, but in the general population, I don't think it's going to be popular. Let me know what your thoughts are. Do you want to see the return of masks? Now, also, I've been covering over the last couple of days this Woolworths boycott. Now we also know that ALDI, the German foreign-owned company that operates around 600 stores here in Australia, have also joined the bandwagon of cancelling Australia Day via cancelling Australia Day merchandise in their stores. There's a lot of flack that Peter Dutton is copying the opposition leader, the Liberal opposition leader, for saying that there should be a boycott of Woolworths, and many conservatives, many people on the right have actually joined in this request for a boycott, a general boycott of Woolworths, particularly during that time. I am not into cancel culture, but in this capitalistic world, if people want to spend their money elsewhere because they're unhappy with the services provided or the ethos of a company, sure, people are free to do that. There are people saying that they're going to go around Woolworths and get all fresh produce, get seafood and all this kind of stuff leading up to Australia Day and just fill their trolleys up and leave them around. Again, I don't condone such activity, but these are the type of things that people are talking about because of what's happened with this Australia Day debate. What do you guys think? You've probably seen a couple of days of people talking about this and debating about this. Do you think a boycott of Woolworths, of ALDI, is justified? If you did want to buy Australia Day merchandise, Reject Shop is apparently, having a bonanza on this stuff, and Coles have stepped up to say that they will be stocking Australia Day merchandise. There's a lot going on with Australia Day, guys, and I think it's only going to heat up as we lead up to the actual 26th of January. Now, the other story that I've been covering is around, let me just bring it up for you, Trump's case in the US. We have with the New York attorney, where they want to, charge him for all types of fraud and all types of absolute nonsense. Like, it's really hard to keep up with all these Trump cases. But most recently, we had the situation where the judge in that case, Erdogan or something like this, that's the judge's name, did not want Trump to actually give a closing statement saying that he would be grandstanding and politicizing the entire thing. So we can't let him have his, civil rights to literally defend himself in a court. That's how crazy it is, right? This same judge said to Donald Trump, because Melania Trump's wife passed away recently. Melania Trump's mother passed away recently. So Trump's wife's mother-in-law passed away recently. And Trump was trying to get a day off from the court case to be a part of the family, perhaps attend the funeral, this type of activity. And they also denied that to him. So this show trial has been going on now for quite some time. Obviously, it's all stacked against Trump, this particular trial. A lot of these cases are going to have to go to either appeal, the federal courts, to actually come to a sane solution. As it is now, it is all just a massive stitch up on Donald Trump. I'm not going to pay too much detail to the actual intricacies of this case, but I will give major updates as we go along with these cases. So this particular one, I'm giving this update because we're almost at the point where the judge will give his justice, which is what he wants to do swiftly. Anyway, guys, thanks again for joining in for another news vlog. If there's any stories that you think I should be covering, please let me know. I will try to get to that in the coming days. If there's anything that you're unhappy about that I've said, please know that I'm just sharing my opinion, but also sharing the news with you. So please be respectful if you want to. If you can, I encourage that. Respectful discourse is always best. If you want to follow along, please subscribe. You can hit the notification bell. You can also find me on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, Rumble, and Odyssey at The Real Rukshan. See you guys next time.